So my pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of self. ಹನುಮಂತ ಅವರೇ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಸಂಸಾರದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ಪಾರಮಾರ್ಥಿಕವನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ವಾ? So that question I'll answer in English first and then Kannada. Okay. So the question is how to be in the worldly life and how to be spiritual. Balancing the worldly life and spiritual life. This is the question. Okay. So let us understand. What do you mean by life? What is life for all of us? When you say life, what is the meaning of life? I have a life, right? What is life? So life means experiences. Correct? So no experience, no life. A dead body is no experience, no life. A person in coma has no experience. Experiences is life. Do you agree? No experience, no life. As simple as that. Correct? So now one beauty of experience is experience will keep on changing. There is no permanent experience in life, or life is nothing but changing experiences, impermanent experiences. Is that correct? Right? Experience is life. Experience means change. There's no life without experience, no change, no experience possible without change. If there's an experience without change, then you will be bored. You will be bored to death. So life means experience. Experience means change. This much understand is clear. And when you say change, the change requires opposites to exist. Two opposites come, then there's a change possible. For example, black is there and white is there. There's a change from black to white. Without opposite, there's no change possible. Right? A contrast is required. As to change to happen, the contrast is required. For example, if you experience pain, the pain can be experienced only if it's a pleasure is there. The pleasure and pain should be together, alternate. Happiness is possible, only unhappiness is there. So life is nothing but duality. Opposites coexist together. Because opposites coexist together, life is possible, change is possible. If there's no opposite, there's no life, there's no change. Are we clear the meaning of life? The life is duality. The duality is not duality is not there. There's no change possible, no change possible, no experience possible, no experience possible, no life possible. So the duality is like a coin, two faces of a coin, head and tail. So you cannot separate out head and tail. Both are required. Can you separate a coin with head and tail separate? So similarly, happiness and unhappiness, pain and pleasure, good and bad, success and failure, dharma and adharma, they're all two faces of a coin. And because two faces of coin is possible, change is possible. Because change is possible, life is possible. So duality is life. Is that clear? Or polarity is life. Polarity means opposites. So if there's no light, there's no darkness possible. If there's no darkness, there's no light possible. Polarity, polar opposites are required. But these polar opposites, they cannot be exist independently. Both are required. Good is required, bad is required. Bad is there, good is there. Good is there, bad is there. They are polar opposites, but they're connected polar opposites. They're like two faces of a coin. They cannot be separated out. Is this much clear about life? Okay, now we understood what is life. Life means change. Change requires a polar opposites. Polar opposites are connected. That means duality Experience of duality is life. If there's no experience of duality, there's no life. But we want one particular experience in life. We want only happiness in life. We don't want unhappiness in life. So that is opposite of life. Permanent, anything permanent in life is impossible to achieve, because life means change. Change means opposites are there. So if you want a permanent happiness in life, you'll never get it. Why? Happiness can exist only with unhappiness. Happiness and unhappiness come together as a package deal. Are we clear? Huh? Right. For example, I'll be happy if I get a job. So the next moment you get a job, I didn't get a good salary. Unhappiness comes. So happiness and unhappiness come together. Polar opposites will come together. That is life. Then only change is possible. Otherwise, the change is not possible. So if change is not possible, life is not there. So understanding of life is clear now. Now, what is worldly life? Worldly life means I want to get happiness from the world. Correct? And what happiness? I want only happiness. I don't want suffering. I don't want pain. I want only happiness from the world. So we are always looking for happiness from the world. Happiness from car, happiness from marriage, happiness from children, happiness from job. We want permanent happiness, right? But permanent happiness is impossible, because life is not about permanent. Life is about impermanent. Are we understanding? Life is about change. Life is about opposites. So if you are expecting only happiness from life, world, so you are going opposite of life. It's impossible. Correct? So that's why people are always looking for happiness from the world. So they are called worldly people, worldly life. And the more happiness they expect from the world, the more suffering they will have, because happiness always comes in the suffering. It's a package deal. But they'll suffer more, because they want happiness, they get suffering. They get suffering, they'll suffer more. So people end up in more and more suffering in the world because of their attachment to happiness. Because life cannot give, life is a package deal. And they end up in more and more suffering in the world, because that's what is called samsara. Are we clear? Right? You understand what is samsara? Samsara means constantly looking for happiness from the world, which is not possible. That's not nature of the world at all. So that is called worldly life according to spiritual tradition. And worldly life leads to suffering, because you are expecting something from the world which is not possible. Correct? So now, can the world give happiness to us? That's the next question. World cannot give happiness to us. Okay. For example, if I eat sugar, I'm happy, because any happy occasion, marriage or things, there's a happy occasion, they'll bring sweets. So sweets is also is happiness. But sweet can give happiness to everybody. A person with diabetes, sweet causes suffering. So happiness is not in the sweets. There's no happiness possible in the sweets. There's no happiness possible in any objects of the world possible world at all. Are we clear? So let's say I buy a big car. Big car gives me happiness, but my big car will give unhappiness for the next neighbor, because his car is small. So the objects of the world don't give happiness. The objects of the world, happiness is about the person, not about the objects of the world. Correct? So that means to seek happiness in the objects of the world is false. Are we understanding? So the happiness is not the object of the world. Happiness is in me. How happiness is in me, that I have to understand. How do happiness comes? So let us say I am happy if I drink a cup of coffee. Okay, I'm happy if I drink a cup of coffee. So now, if you drink a cup of coffee, you're happy. So coffee makes you happiness. But reality, what has happened is when you want coffee, the mind is agitated, mind is thoughts are there. That is unhappiness. The moment you put coffee in your mouth, mind becomes silent. When the mind becomes silent, the Atma, happiness of Atma is reflected in the mind. The bliss of Ananda of Atma is reflected in the mind. So now you feel very happy. Happy means unlimited. Then again mind comes up and says, mind doesn't know happiness came from Atma. Mind cannot see Atma. So mind sees coffee and says, happiness came from coffee. So our understanding of life is ulta palta. We think happiness is coming from the object of the world, but really happiness is coming from Atma. That we don't understand. Right? So people who don't understand this, they will live a worldly life. They will constantly look for happiness in the world and they will suffer. They call it samsara. Okay? Happiness is really the Atma. Happiness is not in the objects of the world. This people who live this is called worldly people. Right? Now, who are spiritual people? People who think that, oh, happiness is not in the objects of the world. Let me get happiness from the Atma. Okay? So they are called spiritual people. But problem for us is the moment you say spiritual, we'll think of a beard, we'll think of a dress, we'll think of a Himalaya, we'll go into ashram, we'll start thinking of a dress. Again, external thing we'll think. We'll not think internally. Again, you think of the world only. Oh, spiritual means ashrama. Ashrama is also in the world. Spiritual means Himalaya. Himalaya is also in the world. So again, we are looking for happiness in the world. So, oh, spiritual life is the ulta of the world. A worldly life person will be married and have children. Spiritual life means he's an ashram, he has a sannyasi, he goes to Himalayas or somewhere. Both people are searching for happiness in the world only. They are also samsaris only. Why? You go to Himalayas, they'll be very cold, shivering, fever will come. So then again you'll suffer. Your happiness in Himalaya will not come. Understand? So happiness is not in ashram, happiness is not in Himalayas, happiness is inside me, inner me, Atma. That understanding is called Adhyatma, spiritual life. Okay? So now, everything in spirituality is misunderstood. Spirituality says, for getting happiness from Atma, you have to become sannyasi. Okay? So people think that sannyasi means a dress. Sannyasi means a beard. Sannyasi means ashram. Okay? In Sanskrit, every word has a deeper meaning. The rudartha and gudartha. Surface level meaning and deeper meaning. Okay, surface level means common man speaks. Or sannyasi means one person who wears a dress and goes to ashram is called sannyasi. Okay, that's rudartha. But Vedantic spiritual teaching is always gudartha. So that's why the gudartha or inner meaning has to be understood from a guru. Nobody can teach you. Gudartha of sannyasa means, okay, samyak nyasa means right kind of deposit. You have to have a right kind of deposit. It's called samyak nyasa. Okay. So when you have money, let's say you have 1 lakh rupees, you want to take a deposit in the bank. Which bank you will keep? Something which gives 20% interest or 25% interest or 7% interest. Which bank you will keep? So if you keep a money in a bank which gives 25% interest, your money will go, deposit will go. It's all bogus. So if you give reasonable return, 7% or 8%, safe bank, you will get a good return. Correct? So similarly, if you keep your mind in a proper place, you'll get a safe return. Mind will be safe. Right? If you keep your mind in the happiness of the world, mind will be unsafe. Your interest will go, deposit will go. Correct? So the mind has to be kept in a safer place. What is a safe place? Atma-dhyana. Atma-dhyana, is it available in Himalayas? Is it available in ashram? Where is it available? Atma-dhyana has to be got from a guru, a master. Right? So it is not going for Himalayas or ashram is important. Getting the right guru and right teaching is getting the right way to get Atma-dhyana. Got it? So that is spiritual life. That is Adhyatma. It is not about dress. It's not about place. So when you get a jnana from a guru, that has three dimensions: Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. Shravana means listening. You have to listen to the guru. And what kind of a guru? A Jnani guru. Adnani guru won't help you. Right? Ignorant guru will not help you. A person with the jnana only help you. Right? Such guru is very difficult to get. So then you have to understand it. For understanding, you need a group of people who are like-minded, who are learning same thing. That's called Manana. So Manana, I have created groups called Vedanta Study Circle. So where you like-minded people will discuss and understand. Then Nididhyasa means you have to sit silently and meditate what Guru has taught. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa is the way for Atma Dhyana. And that is the way to Sannyasa. Sannyasa is Samyagnyasa, keeping right deposit of the mind. If you keep a wrong deposit, it's gone. Are we clear? So now, what is worldly life? Let us come back to worldly life. Sannyasa is clear. Adhyatma is clear. Now, worldly life. Okay, now that is sannyasa. Is real sannyasa? Yes, a formal sannyasa is important. Going to ashram or somewhere, it will help. How it will help? Because a sannyasi, he has no other responsibility in life, so he can spend more time on Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. Right? For him, more time is available. Okay. For Grahastha, less time is available because he has to spend more time on earning, working for family. Time is less. Now, it is not about more time or less time. It's about the quality of time. Don't worry about quantity. Somebody may have 1 crore rupees, he may be wasting. Somebody may have 10 rupees, he may be using it properly. Are you got it? So Grahastha has only 1 hour per day, but if he uses 1 hour properly per day, it's better than sannyasi using 24 hours not properly. So it's a quality of time, not quantity of time, which is important. The quality focus of time, right kind of time in Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa is called Adhyatmic life. That is called sannyasa. Samyagnyasa means right kind of deposit. Are we clear? So now we will come to other thing, wrong deposit. Somebody is constantly looking for happiness in the world. He is bound to suffer because I told you the definition of life, right? There's no happiness in the world. So he'll suffer, is called samsari. So is there a use for the world then? What is the use of the world? Is the world useful? There is a use for the world. Otherwise, God would not have created the world. The world is there not for giving you happiness. World is there for education purpose, for teaching purpose. The world is called universe. Universe is nothing but university of God. What is university? Why do you go to university? To enjoy life? Why do you go to college? Why do you go to school? Do you enjoy life? Go there to enjoy life? You go there for study, right? Are we clear? So the world is a place we are coming for study. Study of what? Karmic lesson. Whatever I do will come as a karma to me. So, and how do I improve myself? How do I become a better person? To learn that we have come to the world. Not because of enjoyment we have come to the world. Is it clear? So, in the world, we have come to learn the lessons of karma, not for happiness. Happiness is an Atma. Okay. So, you can think world as a gymnasium. Gymnasium means you have gone to gymnasium where you lift the weight, right? You do exercise. Why? You want to improve your muscle. Correct? Gymnasium is not there to give you happiness. Gymnasium is there to improve your muscles. Correct? The world is not there to give you happiness. World is there to improve your muscle or spiritual muscle. It is there helping you to improve yourself. Okay. In gymnasium, you lift a weight of 50 kg. By lifting a weight of 50 kg, 50 kg will not improve. Your body, your muscle will improve, right? There are so many challenges in the world. Okay. The challenges are there to help improve your spiritual strength. Are you clear? What is spiritual strength? There are different qualities of spiritual strength. Patience, happiness, peacefulness, contentment. What do you call it? Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana, Mumukshatva. These are called Shat Sampatti. Shama means control over sense organs. Dama means Shama means sense organ control. Dama means control mind. Titiksha means ability to withstand pain. Uparati means mind constantly going to Atma. Shraddha means faith. Samadhana, balanced state of mind. This is what you have to learn from the world. Are we clear? The world is a gymnasium, nothing else. Okay, now in the gymnasium, you don't go for enjoying life. Gymnasium, you go to build muscle. Like that, world you come to learn your karmic lesson to improve yourself, adhyatmically, spiritually. Right? So we should not run away from the world, because world is there as a gymnasium. Is that clear? Where will you run away from the world? You will run to Himalaya. Himalaya is also world. You run away to ashram. Ashram is also world. There is a different world. That's all. World only. Are we clear? So the world is a place for us to improve our spiritual strength. Never we should run away from the world. So then what is the meaning of you move away from the world in spiritual teaching? You move away from the world doesn't mean you run away from the world. You understand the world doesn't give you happiness. That's the meaning of spiritual teaching. Correctly? So leaving samsara doesn't mean leaving the world. Leaving samsara means understanding that there's no happiness in the world. Okay, it's understanding change, not physically living. If dress is if a dress can make sannyasi, then the greatest sannyasi, you know who? Ravana. He was well dressed as sannyasi. It's not dress which is important, it's understanding which is important. That's called sannyasa. Are you okay? So now so the world is there for us to learn karmic lessons. World is there for us to improve our spiritual strength. So then that means our relationship to the world has to change. Earlier we are looking for happiness from the world. Now we have to understand the world is a gymnasium, world is a university. Then our relationship with the world will change. So your friends, your relatives, your enemies, your school, whatever circumstances come in life are there coming for you to teach. They are teaching mechanism for you. So in the university, anybody who comes is a professor, teacher. Understand? In that sense, anything in life is coming as a teaching for you. Teaching for what? Learning karmic lessons and learning, improving yourself. Is it clear? Okay. Now, let us first go to karmic lessons. What is the karmic lesson? Anything happening in our life. Okay. At this moment, something is happening in our life. Correct? What happens in our life, there's no control at all for us. We can't control what happens in life, because the happening in the life is what is the world is doing for us. For example, it's sun is a hot sun is there. I can't control the sun. Right? So what happens in our life? Sometimes success will come, sometimes failure will come. That we can't control. What happens in our life, we cannot control. So what cannot be controlled, what happens in life is called prarabdha karma. Correct? No? Prarabdha karma is not a punishment of God. Prarabdha karma is what we did earlier will come to us. If you have done good karma, punya and happiness will come to us. If you have done papa, sin, bad thing will come to us. Correct? So at any moment, what's happening in our life is good karma or bad karma, which I only did earlier. So that karma is coming to us to teach. Is that clear? Okay. It can come in form of your friend. Okay. So friend will come to you you feel happy, that's a good karma. Friend will come to you and he'll shout at you, you feel unhappy. That's your bad karma coming. It's not have nothing to do with the friend. Are you understanding what I'm saying? It is the friend is like a postman. Okay, a postman, when he brings a letter, a happy message will be there, unhappy message will be there. So if happy message is there, you will go and kiss the postman, and unhappy message you will beat the postman. Is it possible? So postman is a messenger, correct? Any circumstance in our life is just a messenger. They are carrying a message. The message of karma. The karma is what I did earlier is coming back to me. Delivery is happening now. So can I feel happy or unhappy about friend? Happy or unhappy about enemy? Happy or unhappy about boss? Happy or unhappy about wife? We cannot, because all these are circumstances for us, for me to education. Is this clear to you? Is this understanding clear? So any circumstance in our life, yeah. So any circumstance in life is there for us to teach. Is a friend, husband, children, or relative. The question is what I learn. First thing I have to learn is anything coming in life is my karmic impressions, my prarabdha karma is coming. So if prarabdha karma is coming, I cannot do anything about it. I cannot get angry about the person. I cannot get angry about the situation. I have to learn how to handle prarabdha karma. What do I learn from this prarabdha karma? Is there for you to learn. Are we clear? Hanumant? Okay. So prarabdha karma is there for learn. Then you will not get angry with any situation. You will not feel bad about anybody. You will feel accept it because they are just messengers. So then, so you start accepting life as it comes. You will not get agitated by life. That's your samadhana or patience will increase. Right? Your spiritual quality will improve. When you understand, world is not there for giving me happiness. World is there for educating me. And anything happening in life, my prarabdha karma is there for building patience in my life. Okay. So that is first accepting life. Then learning from life. Prarabdha karma doesn't mean that I'll have to accept passively. So if something I don't accept it, I can change it. Try to change it. Do your best. Doing your best is called purushartha. So prarabdha has to be changed by purushartha. For example, I got a fever. I can't control the fever because fever is because of corona. Purushartha is I can go to a doctor, take medicine, right? But I don't have to get angry that I got corona. I don't have to feel fear that I have got corona. I have to take a medicine. So now doctor says there's no medicine. Then I have to accept it because that's a prarabdha karma. So the prarabdha karma is two types. One is a prarabdha karma which can be corrected to purushartha, a prarabdha karma which cannot be corrected to purushartha. Right? So prarabdha which cannot be corrected to purushartha, I have to accept it. This is my prarabdha karma has come. Then also I'm peaceful because it's only coming to me. What I did is coming to me. So the purushartha, prarabdha karma is called will of God. We have heard this will of God, right? Bhagavantana Ichche. Will of God is law of karma. Is will of God. Whatever you do will come to you. So individual effort means how do I learn from that and improve myself is called individual effort, sadhana. So now first understand, accept life. The accepting life is called sharanagati, surrender. Okay. Start living a surrendered life. So now from worldly life you have gone to spiritual life. In the world. Why? World is not there for your happiness. World is there for your education. World is there for you building spiritual strength. World is a spiritual gym. If you understand that, worldly life gets converted to spiritual life. The same world. Are we clear? So now, next thing you start doing work in the worldly life. Okay, Basavanna called Antaranga Shuddhi and Bahiranga Shuddhi. That's inner purification and outer purification is required. So the world is place for you to do Antaranga Shuddhi and Bahiranga Shuddhi. How do you do that? So for us to live in the world, we need some earning. I have to learn some earn money. I have to take care of my family, I have to take care of my children. Something is required for me to earn, right? So earning requires effort, work. So now if I do this work sincerely in a dharmic way, I'll earn money in a dharmic way. Correct? So then earning money in dharmic way is also spiritual. So that's why Basavana said, Kayakave Kailasa, convert the work into worship. Right? So now are you going to anywhere, ashram or Himalayas to do spiritual life? No, you're not changing the dress also. Your work is becoming spiritual life. For example, you are a teacher. You are teaching some 50 children. Right? Now 50 children, if you teach with sincerity, thinking work is worship, these 50 children will become gods. Right? They will become beautiful children who will help the country. So now you are creating gods out of children. Right? That's called worship. So when you say, when you do worship, you have a statue, right? Shivalinga or any statue of God is there. You will invite God there and do puja. Correct? So that's puja. That's only practice. Your real puja is in the school, classroom, where you are teaching. So you are teaching 50 children, and 50 children, if you are able to bring the godly qualities, divine qualities, then you are actually invoking God in the children, living children. All right? That is real puja. Imagine tomorrow 50 children you taught, one of the children will become a prime minister or president or even a CEO, but he is able to help a lot of people. You have created God out of children. Is that not puja? So when you do puja, worship of a statue, you do puja every day, but the statue will not go and help anybody. But if you do puja through God, children, that Kayakave Kailasa, work becomes worship, and the children will become divine. They will do a lot of service. So that's real puja. So you have every day you have opportunity to do puja. So your worldly, where is your worldly life now? Huh? There's no worldly life. There's only spiritual life. Correct? So our understanding is we have to correct, not the lifestyle. So now any work can be converted to worship. Any work can be offered as a puja for the divine in the other human being. So we do namaskara like this. You touch left hand and right hand, right? So namaskara is not like a shake hand. Namaskara is saying God in you and God in me are one. So first when we meet a person, we always remember the God in the person. So if you remember God in the person, God in the children, your worldly life becomes spiritual life. All right? So when we meet people in North Karnataka, we say, Sharanu, Sharanu, surrender, surrender, Sharanu, Sharanu, Shiva, Shiva, we'll say. That means we are seeing Shiva in the other person. I'll say Atma Jyoti is divine light of self. I see God in all of you. All right? If you learn the God in your wife, God in your children, God in your husband, God in your boss, God in children, where is spiritual meditative life? It's only spiritual life. Worldly life is not there. Correct? Now, if you live your life like that, and if you do karma yoga, you have to earn your office work. Can you convert your office work into service to God? Kayakave, you can do Kailasa. Right? Then it becomes puja. So now, what is the difference between you and sannyasi? Sannyasi spends 24 hours in ashram in a room, whereas you are interacting and you are working with God directly, children. So, worldly life is spiritual life. Right? Right? If I have children, if I have two daughters or daughters, now if I bring good qualities in them, divine qualities in them, then I am worshipping God only, you know. Huh? If I have, let's say I have 100 students or 500 students who are students, right? If I am able to bring godly qualities in them, that is my puja, no? Which is puja room is puja, or teaching spirituality and bringing godly qualities in use puja? Huh? Which is puja, real puja? Understood? Real puja is serving people, serving society, and bringing godly qualities in the society is real puja. That's why Basavana said, Kayakave Kailasa. Work is worship, he said. So the work, through work, you can bring divine qualities in the society. For that, you have to do service. The service is called, okay, Jagaditaya. So we have two parts to our spiritual life: Atmano Mokshartham, Jagaditaya. Self-realization and selfless service. Correct? So what you have to do for sannyasa? What is sannyasa? Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa under the guidance of a guru is called sannyasa. That's Atmano Mokshartham. Jagaditaya means selfless service to the society. So now where is worldly life and where is spiritual life? So you start doing karma yoga. Work you can start doing as service. Right? As a puja. Then it becomes work becomes karma yoga. Purifies you. Antaranga Shuddhi, Bahiranga Shuddhi will happen. Inner purification, outer purification will happen. Correct? Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa will give Dana, Atma Dana. Self-realization and selfless service. Atmano Mokshartham, Jagaditaya. Both are happening simultaneously. Are we clear? So now, is there worldly life and spiritual life now? There's no worldly life and spiritual life. There's only one life. There's divine life. So samsarika and adhyatmika ಎರಡು ಜೀವನ ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. There's worldly life and spiritual life. There are no two lives. There is ದೈವಿಕ ಜೀವನ. Only divine life is there. Only divine life is there. Understand? So there's no worldly life and spiritual life. There's only divine life. Whatever you do is divine. Right? So how do we have to live our life very properly is important. Okay. So in a day we have 24 hours. Right? These 24 hours we have to split. 8 hours I have to sleep. I cannot do anything about it. Correct? So now 10 hours I have to do office work. I cannot do anything about it. I have to make a living. So 10 hours of office work, can I convert into Kaya Kave Kailasa, worship? The 10 hours becomes puja. Then of course you'll get a salary to take care of your family and your life, yourself. Correct? Now another few hours are left. 18 hours are gone and another 6 hours are left. The 6 hours you split into two. Atmano Mokshartham Jagaditaya. Self-realization, you do something, and service, you do something. So your 24 hours are useful now, properly. Are you clear? 24 hours has become divine life now. 8 hours sleep, 10 hours work, which is worship. Then remaining 6 hours or 7 hours split into two. Atmano Mokshartham some part, Jagaditaya, service some part. So your 24 hours is divine now. Now material life and spiritual life is not there. Only divine life is there. Right? So now, how do we have to live our life? We have to live our life not worrying about tomorrow, not worrying about day after tomorrow, not worrying about yesterday. Only today, 24 hours I'll spend properly as puja. That's called divine life. Right? Do you have tomorrow? How long you will live? We don't know how long you will live. Right? Tomorrow I will not be alive. Day after tomorrow I will not be alive. Death can come anytime. Correct? Is there any doctor who can give you a guarantee that you live for 150 years, 70 years? No, not possible. So for us, today is the gift of God. Let me use my today 100% fully for a divine life. That is life. Correct? Don't confuse between spiritual life and material life, because the moment you say spiritual life, you think of ashram, Himalaya, somewhere. Right? Whatever life you have is a beautiful life. It's a divine life. Now, not tomorrow. Because tomorrow I don't know I'll be alive or not, I don't know. Tomorrow world will be there, I don't know. Correct? So that's how we have to live our life, is we have to live our life like a coolie, a daily wage worker. What is a daily wage worker? What does he do? Daily wage worker, he is not a permanent job, is not there. Morning he will go and a construction site and Mestri Namaskara. He will tell the Namaskara to the boss. So give me some work. The boss will give the work, right? He will do the work properly in the evening and go back and take salary. He does not know whether tomorrow is there or not, but today he will do it properly. Correct? So now for us, the Mestri or the boss is the God. He has given me 24 hours. The 24 hours properly, can I use it as a divine work, divine life? And tomorrow, whether it will come or not, it's not my responsibility. It's Mestri's responsibility, God's responsibility. Tomorrow, what he will give me. Then I'll not worry about tomorrow, worry I'll not day about tomorrow. I'll live my day today fully 100%. That 100% living is called divine life. 100% properly living, thinking of God is called divine life. There's no material life, there's no spiritual life. This question itself is invalid. It's a wrong question. Adhyatmika ಮತ್ತು ಪಾರಮಾರ್ಥಿಕ ಎರಡು ಜೀವನ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ. There's no two lives. It's only one life. Divine life. Huh? Correct? So this is understanding. Please, we started how you started. Please understand. We started what is the meaning of life. Life means change. Okay, change is what is life, and constantly looking for happiness in the world is samsara. Sannyasa means going back to Atma. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa under the guidance of the Guru is called sannyasa. Then doing everything in my life as a service to God. Karma yoga is spiritual life. So your life is entire life. You have to make it divine life. Don't worry about material life or spiritual life. Don't worry about ashram, Himalayas, or any place. Are we clear? Now there's no question of balance. There's only one life. Where is the balance? Right? So I'll conclude with one small story. Somebody asked Hanuman, okay, what is Rama to you? Hanuman said, Rama, when I open my eyes, I have to do some work. So Rama is my master, I am his servant. I am Sevaka. I constantly work as a servant of God. Correct? That's my puja. I work for dharma. That's my puja. When I open my eyes. So I close my eyes and sit for meditation. Then I'm not doing work, but I'm doing meditation. Meditation is called upasana. Then I feel closer to Rama. Rama, I feel like my relative. I develop qualities of Rama in me. Then I go into samadhi. Then no Hanuman is there. Only Rama is there. So there are 3 stages in our life. When we open our eyes and when we see the world, we have to work as a servant of Bhagavan, servant of Dharma. We work for Dharma. Karma you have to convert into Dharma. Are we clear? Huh? So worldly life is karma. That divine life is dharma. Ashte. So karma you convert into dharma. Work you convert into worship. If you do the work, then karma roga will happen to you. Mind will be tension. Karma roga will happen. If you convert the work into worship, karma yoga will happen. God will come in your life. Karma roga you convert into God, karma yoga. Work becomes worship. Karma you convert into dharma. Are we clear? So then, if when you get, then that's 8 hours or 10 hours is gone doing work, dharma. 8 hours is gone in sleep. Then it's Atmano Mokshartam, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa, meditation. When you do meditation, you feel closer to God. If you go into samadhi, you'll only find God. Then another 2-3 hours, you do service to the world. Because this service is not work. You do some work which will help people without expecting anything. So now there's no question of material life and spiritual life. There's no question of paramarthika and vyavaharika. There's no worldly life and adhyatmic life. There's only one life, divine life. And that is available to you today only. Tomorrow there's no guarantee. Live your life 24 hours properly. When you go to sleep, you do namaskar to God. God, you have given me 24 hours. I have used it properly. That it's all is what is adhyatmika. So any questions are there? Okay, are you clear now? Your question is answered properly. So any questions for the people on Zoom?